To a Friend in the Wilderness, a poem by A R D Fairburn, read by Ian Free for the Depot Artspace archive in February 2017. This poem was written in 1949, 68 years ago, and just a few years after the end of the Second World War. Many people then wanted to get away from the cities, get to the sun, to the unspoiled beaches and the refreshing sea. The poem begins with one of the two sections that are there that are in the voice of the friend who's already in the wilderness. Imagine that you found his letter somewhere, handwritten from the days before emails. It was addressed to Douglas Rogg, a successful surgeon, an original thinker, a member of the University Council, and later a Sir. Both these men loved the land of Aotearoa, New Zealand. And this is how it starts. For God's sake, let it rip. Let go the rope. The weight is dead against you. Toss in your hand, the cards are stacked. You're jostled off the course, get off your horse. Our land is conquered. The homunculus supreme sits on the world's back. The weevil is in the sack. Come. Leave the fool to his triumph. Like sand, it'll slip through the bones of his hand. I'm tired of writing and I'm tired of waiting. No answer. And it's 6 months since you wrote. I'm pleading with you now, not inviting. Listen, when Kelly went, he left me his boat. The sun is on the sea and the fish are biting. The garden's full, the fruit begins to fall. For God's sake, chuck it in. Join me and share my crust. The world well lost. Make life a long weekend. Old friend, dear friend, your voice comes to me through the scrawled words, like a bell ringing in the riotous midnight, like news of peace through static. I hear the leaves rustle above your door. On the sun-baked path, the cat lies dreaming. Noon tranced, the pig sleeps in the shade. Your house stands a cavernous rock in a sea of light. In the passage, a wisp of breeze or a poltergeist stirs the cobweb. The sun is exalted, climbs to his throne of noon. In the crystal heat, the cicadas crackle on sunlit walls, on pea sticks dried and splintered, and among the macrocarpus. From thistle to cloudless blue, the world is vibrant. Even the inner rooms are pervaded with noon. The whole world, a hot room hung with green leaves. Beyond the pampas bushes, the sea snores on the shingle, boils lazily among the rocks. There lie the umber weeds combing from the sea's hair. There sparkle salt crystals on the pearl and amber shells. No need to tell me of these things, no need for letters. I am with you. And we sit again on the old log, half buried in the sand, sucking our pipes, happy to talk of things we shall never understand. Our smoke wreathing on the still air in the pattern of our thoughts. Eyes narrowed in the glare of sun and sea to watch the falling wave that holds the summer in its green concave. Come with me now, past the Maori grave, past the struggling fig tree like a map of London, along the track and over the wooden bridge. Once more we climb the cliff, sweating and silent, and stand at the high point, by the crumbling edge, the sea beneath us, the wind's dancing floor, deserted now and shining. My nostalgia leo cone to the giant Pahutakawa. High noon, intensity of light and sadness. Landward, the far-off hills are walls of blue, fringing the valley floor, that broad map of summer. The deepening green foretells the fall of leaves and friendship's end. All that we are, all that we love, dissolved and lost in the darkness of the molecule. Time takes us on his back and lumps us along. Hope hardens and the wind blows from the grave. Our wound is mortal. No hand can heal us. No fingers can unweave the solid strands of doom. The seasons turn and take us with them. Our cycloid curve bounds faster towards eternity. We age, and like the beleaguered army, fall to grief and rage, and curse the king we serve, the name of war. But on that shore, despair withers in the sun, in the salt air. Love goes gloveless, faith is naked, the eye stares at the skeleton fact, the doomed lips smile at truth revealed, cry welcome to the flux, the fire, the fury, the dance of substance on the needle point of mind, the kiss of clay, the flame of the sea, the reek of the flesh, the animal beauty of the stars. Your leisure grows like a tree, wrapping its roots round the earth to which it belongs, and thoughts pass huge and slow across your mind, like cloud shadows over the purple sea. You can take time, like Mithridates, unscathed. We'll drink eternity. Time, yes. Time will die. March will die into April. Autumn will age and be grey as a pensioner. May will fade in a mist. The day come when the tui no longer spangles the scarlet flax flowers with his song. When the dawn brings sleet and the bees are quiet and the morning thrush is dumb. Winter will come with a blast of wind and a flourish of chilling showers, and the sea will moan, and the driftwood, whiter grown, be swept in heaps like bones. And the bodies of dead seabirds will lie beyond the lash of the wave. The sea will rave, and the surf cast rags of kelp on the shore. The creeks will rise and the streams with yellow water run, and the mud be cold and deep about your door. The wind in the dark will roar and the midnight filled with dread, but the driftwood fire will still be warm at the midmost core, at the beating heart of the storm. Then, like a smile from the dead, or a song from the granite rock, spring will come, with its 4 blue eggs that mirror the sky, in the nest, in the privet hedge, with a blush of green on the willows, and buds on the sycamore, and the thrush in the macrocarpa, telling the time of life. The starling in the gutter will splash in the shining air, and spiders make of their spittle great cities in the grass. The fantail flit in the tea tree, turn cartwheels over the mare. Young violets charm the wind, even the dun, unsmiling bush at the head of the stream holds up its darling flowers to kiss the robe of the sun. The time of doubt will pass. Faith and fact will be one. I have no wish to circle the globe, have no desire to travel beyond my chosen acre. Would choose to live in peace in one place and make my life one stay. There is much to unravel and much to piece together. I would pick up a shell and scan it for half a day. Wander the paths of childhood, traverse the way that is lost forever. I would think of the living so restless in their sleep. I would dream of the dead with their quiet faces. See, in my little room, the world stretched on the great rack of doom. I could be happy in blue and fortunate weather, roaming the country that lies between you and the sun, over the hills, fold after fold, following the gradual sheep tracks, winding slowly past gullies flecked with the ragwort's curse, or golden with the uneconomic gorse, to the tops of the sky hills, where, in time of drought, the Danthonia shines like a flame that consumes the summer. I could be happy, roaming chance foot over those hills in the soft autumn rain, or wandering in winter wildness. I would come again like a shot from a gun, like a train, like a stallion with streaming mane, like a woman, wild with the pain and the joy of love. I would come and live on the land, live off it, go fishing with terns and shags, set snares for pheasant and rabbit. If need be, walk in rags. I would come if it were not so that something says to me, no. Is it hope or fear or habit that has this power to restrain? Or the dim voice of a prophet? Or a ghost within my brain? But me no buts, you're leading me a dance. Now what have you been reading to clear your guts? Ralph Waldo Trine, a sentimental tract aiming to prove that miracle is fact? Or say that modern men given a chance are better lovers than haters? Or some sermon drooling of Christian witness and moral fitness? Philosophers and priests and men of letters are the devil's politicians on the stump, gulling their betters. History a running sore on nature's rump, the world a den of madmen. Let's be spectators on this other planet, governed by us alone. Broad as desire, yet small enough to be reflected in the eye of gull or gannet. Let them steal watches or wives, cutthroats or capers, kill time or cousins German, light beacon fires of progress or stinking tapers, while we transmute the metal of their folly, turn all their leaden doubts and self-communings, their servile posturings, attitudes of conscience to golden shuttlecocks, and have some sport. Raffle your birthright, sell your chattels, come, be quit of it all, the maggot heap of money, the haunted room, the desperate street, the revolving wheels and the withered hand, the tedious week, the circular task, the cheap jack building utopia, the salesman bleating of Christ, the unhappy poor envying the unhappy rich, evil barring the door, the corner in the sunroom, despair in every heart, the world at the mercy of a maniac with a comic moustache or a peasant riding the apocalypse, or of the smooth cutthroats in black with their balance sheets and Bibles, law married to madness, knowledge to error, our children numbered for the shambles. Will you escape these things, or will you endure them? Who will cure them? Tell me, when terror lightens the sky, what will you answer then? Again, old friend, you're clever. You know my thoughts. You tempt me with your talk when the mood is blackest and I think of waves breaking forever. How can I make this difficult decision who have children to rear to the same most difficult decision? Shall I teach them to inhabit this world, to inherit the slough of my doubt, the fury of my despair, patiently to repeat each crime and blunder, get knowledge piecemeal and too late, lose wonder, staring at the mocking image each generation holds up to the next, breeding, begetting their kind, or bleeding and dying in a lunatic war in a distant land for a lost cause? Shall I endure these things, or shall I break the circle, bring them to live in the innocence of your world, train them in Stone Age crafts, using such simple gear as might be stored in a cave or stowed in an ark? Facing absolute power, shall I become the absolute economist, the dark philosopher, to circumvent the devil? The way would be hard, but a harder may emerge from speeches, campaigns, and talks at the highest level. Safe in your wilderness of sea and mountain, far from this wilderness that men have built, you needn't fear the universal plague, terror and mortal madness. Need not hear that sound the heart makes when the mother grieves for the murdered child, the voice of helpless guilt. Your days aren't mixed with violence. The years suffer a gentle death, die slowly, fall like leaves. Sometimes at night, the cries of wild birds seem the inward voice of doom. Sometimes you dream the hills fall down, the sea comes rushing in, but morning brings the sunlight on the sill, the blackbird shouting. Yours is the weather shore, where many windless dawns of mist and cloud take root upon those hills and flower in sudden storm. But hail and thunder are nature's rhetoric, lifting the spirit up, heaven high, rekindling wonder. Why am I not beside you, flesh and spirit? I could be happy serving my time to the earth, living in luminous poverty, apprenticed to a blind, unthinkable future. I could be happy even when the house had fallen, its rotten eaves tangled in blackberry, well content to sleep under the row pool, hearing the rain on the leaves, rustling in the darkness, glad to sweat in the sun and wash my body in the sea. But I'm held like the constant moon. Though chaos is my earth, I hold my orbit. Let me speak bluntly. No man essaying sanity, putting off vanity, looking calmly at the world, looking it in the eyes, could find in soul or sense an innocent love. The fool prospers, the coward lies in silk, the pimp is full of honour, the brave and wise stand silent at the crowd's edge, while liars fumble with their lies. Fate is witless, the irrational bolt will fall where least deserved, or most, or not at all. And at the last, we are lost in abstract death. Leave the matter there, and the hand would freeze on the instant, the heart stop, the breath melt into air. Why do we struggle to hold the heat of this fire of being against the chill of nothing? Wrestle in pain to sustain this tension between the ideal and the real, between desire and defeat, to square beauty with bounden duty, the innocent act with the metaphysical fact. The heavens are silent, doctrines are many, doctors too a penny. Truth in her time flight scatters a million fragments, and the paper chase is endless. Knowledge is bought and sold on margins. Mirrors of fear, concave, of power, convex, distort. What we are taught is often tautology, or lies. We are fools if we think that an absolute absolves, or that will soften the impact of brute fact. Neither priest nor sage scanning the skies, neither sacred nor secular page gives a standard spelling for ought. And many who save their breath for their porridge are virtuous and wise, while others who are most voluble practice in error. All this I admit, out of my mother wit. We are come of age, this side of death, when we know that in terms of thought, these problems are insoluble. What is our lodestar then? All that is human, kin to us, born of woman. O sea, ever living, mother of all, falling in sunlight, breaking over the rocks forever, taking and giving. Whatever knows it's mortal and shapes a god out of nothing, an image of beauty from paint or stone or air, whatever is bound by the phallic will, by the logic of generation, and having at heart an irreducible faith, is impelled to gamble against statistical truth. Whatever hurts and is hurt and knows about pain, as a devil sitting at the end of the bed or the brain, whatever is gay and has courage to travel by night, this is our map and compass and destination. We must make our chart from the record of measurements, sounding the remembrance of wrecks, and follow our changing course by the stars, and the set of the tides, and the slant of the wind. We must yield to the terms of our being, allow neither church nor state to establish patent rights over our natural joys, the heart's affections. We know in the instant of joy that our warrant is sure, our faith not vain, our being not belied by death. Old rebel, what is there left for me to say? This only. Till at length I reach the end of action, the last of my strength, I cannot sever the bond, destroy the documents, cut the cord of my origin and being. This is my world. These people are my clansmen, my accomplices. I share the crime. This guilt is my reprieve. I'm alive and I don't mean to leave till the game is up and my hand has lost its power. These are my people. Till 70 times 7 I'm committed to them, which is neither a matter for pride nor a cause for grief. Does the shaken leaf lay claim to the earth, or condemn the wind that blows out of heaven? These are my flesh and blood since time began. Their folly is my folly, their joy my joy, caught in this moral predicament, girl and boy, busy matron, sad-faced, successful man, prim saint and puzzled sinner, grim loser and bad winner, pimp and peeping Tom, snotty-nosed cherub, anonymous letter writer, sleek parasite and host, master and slave, owl-eye, chew-cud, wolf-jaw, ferret-face, all of them, one in the image of man, which I bear in my heart, a burden to the grave. Old friend, dear friend, someday when I've had my say and the world its way, when all that is left is the gathering in of ends and the foregathering of friends, on some autumn evening when the mullet leaped in a sea of silver grey, then I will come again and stay for as long as I may, till the time of sleep, gaze at the rock that died before me, the sea that lives forever, of air and sunlight, frost and wave and cloud, and all the remembered agony and joy, fashion my shroud.